My home may not look like a mansion, and my clothes may be lacking in style. And if you come sit at my table, a meager supply you might find. But oh, it's not what you see that makes me a king, makes me a king. To me, I've everything, all that I need, all that I need. I have treasures unseen.
For the last 35 years, I've been photographing America and its people and its communities. And so at the turn of the century, I became very interested in what was happening now in America as we made this change. And one of the big issues that was facing our country was welfare reform. And I began to think, where are the places in America in which this issue is very important and the communities? And I happened to see a very small little article in a national newspaper which said that southern West Virginia was one of the most impoverished places in America. It had the highest rate of suicides, the highest rate of black lung, and other things that kind of pointed my camera in that direction. And I went to West Virginia with the idea of seeing this seminal community which had been a touchstone for America for generations, from the early days of the Farm Security Administration to the 60s when the Kennedys campaigned and other photographers ventured there, and now at the turn of the century, what might be happening. And while there, I discovered that the coal culture was dying, partly because, or largely because, coal was completely mechanized. And I then went into the hollows in the communities and began to photograph and meet people and hear their stories and try to document what I thought was happening and where they pointed me. I didn't really know what to expect, and so going there on the top of my list was obviously the mines and what was happening. And I got there and there was very little mining left. The mines had been completely mechanized largely, and what was left was very small non-union mines, one large mine that I knew about, and a lot of what they call mountaintop removal. And then a lot of the land devastated and the communities devastated by the disruption of these large operations because of the change in the economy in West Virginia. And so what had once been very large coal communities, coal towns with hospitals and bowling alleys and doctors' offices and housing for the workers and country stores, completely gone. All of that had completely disappeared. And coal virtually had disappeared, even though coal was on the tip of everyone's tongue. It was in their blood.